If you need more reasons not to eat junk food, here's another one in terms of how it can increase your risk of developing an autoimmune condition. So rheumatoid arthritis is an autoimmune condition, meaning your immune system, which is meant to protect you from bacteria and viruses, is inappropriately recognizing your own joints and tendons as foreign and basically attacks them, causing inflammation, leading to pain, swelling, limitations in activities, and eventually permanent damage in the bones as well. On the other hand, ultra-processed foods are known to cause metabolic syndrome, including inflammation as well. So what's the connection here? Common sense would say that ultra-processed foods have the risk of causing inflammation. That could be a potential issue if you're worried about an autoimmune condition. So here's a study that came from the United Kingdom Biobank. So it's interesting. This is a collection of data that their government and health service collects. It's de-identified, has a lot of different data associated with it. It's available for different researchers. So there are researchers from China that basically queried this data bank and looked to see if there was any connection with how bad ultra-processed food can affect the development of rheumatoid arthritis. So what they did was they looked at 207,000 middle-aged adults without rheumatoid arthritis in the United Kingdom. And these were people who filled out detailed dietary reporting of their meals. They followed them out for several years, and they looked at a couple different things. Number one is they looked at what was their diet like, and they sort of graded this amount of ultra-processed foods that they consumed. And by ultra-processed foods, they included soft drinks, sweet and savory packaged snacks, reconstituted meat products, and prepackaged frozen dishes. They then also looked at an outcome of the incidence of rheumatoid arthritis diagnoses that were flagged in their hospital and healthcare system. So in their cohort of people that they followed, they found that about 1% of people ended up developing rheumatoid arthritis over the time that they were monitored. That 1% number is significant because it's what we see in other populations, meaning we know that in the general population, roughly 1% of people will develop rheumatoid arthritis. So this is consistent with that. They also found that the group that consumed the most amount of ultra-processed foods had a 17% greater risk of developing rheumatoid arthritis. They also found that as people consume more ultra-processed foods, their risk of developing rheumatoid arthritis increased as well. Some of the theories that they postulate for why this could have happened are that ultra-processed foods seem to increase inflammation. They can also worsen metabolic health. That includes things like your cholesterol, your liver function tests, and worsening your metabolic health is associated with inflammation as well. So they're making this connection that consuming more ultra-processed foods does seem to increase the risk for rheumatoid arthritis as well. So what are the takeaways? Well, to begin with, we know ultra-processed foods, sugary foods, unhealthy foods, they're not good for your general health. We already know that. Here's some evidence that this also increases the risk of developing rheumatoid arthritis as well. So we know from a rheumatoid arthritis standpoint, there's a risk based on what you're eating. We also know that long-term in rheumatoid arthritis patients, because metabolic health and cardiovascular outcomes are worse as well, that our patients shouldn't be eating these kind of foods anyway. So if you need another reason to not be eating unhealthy foods, well, here's another one. It seems to increase the risk of autoimmune conditions as well.